guys, welcome to my channel. It's been a while since I've recorded a video, so since I am off today from work, I am going to give you a video that's about macros, what they are, how tracking may be beneficial for some people, and just why I started tracking macros. And I just got done with the leg workout, so I'm going to make a post-workout meal. I actually just made this wrap yesterday, and I'm going to make it again because it was so good. So I am going to film that for you, give you just another idea of what I might eat for a post-workout. It's just going to be a wrap with the Joseph's pita bread that I love, one of the whole wheat wraps. And then 1 Laughing Cow cheese, about 3 ounces of chicken, and 85 grams of chopped sweet potato. So I'm going to make that, and then I will get into the meat of the video. So enjoy the post-workout. On top my pita wrap, I put the Laughing Cow cheese on it. I'm going to put some of this white cheddar seasoning on it. I'm going to spray these with some spray butter, put maybe a little salt on there, and then I'm going to top everything with some sugar-free barbecue sauce.
Shake them dice and roll 'em. Shake them dice and roll 'em. When they ask you what's that dance, you say that's the hustle. Girl, I wanna know your name. Girl, who you be? Don't care with who you came, long as you leave with me. What you sippin' on? I'll buy your drink, get you on them shiny things. Your girl be pink. I see those Jimmy Choos, those Vera Wangs. I love the way you work. Girl, do your thing. You see my stunner shade.
Grams of barbecue sauce on there. I'm gonna roll this up, and then I'm gonna toss it in the skillet to get it a little crunchy.
So go get your friends, and I'll get my friends, and we can be friends. Do this every weekend. We can hit your place, we can hit my place. She's on my top, ayy. I begged her off of my space. Go girl, 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 go girl. Shake them dice and roll 'em. Shake them dice and roll 'em. When they ask you what's the dance, you say that's the hustle.
Diamond princess, I make 'em bust quick. Man, I back it up.
Alright guys, the amount of time it took me to finish that wrap was slightly embarrassing, but it was so good. So I hope you try it. If you do, comment below or message me on Instagram. My Instagram name is meganj.fit, so make sure you go follow me on there as well. But anyway, so I wanted to kind of talk about macro tracking and what it is, what are macros. I follow well, it's more flexible dieting, not if it fits your macros. It's where I use macros, which consist of protein, carbs, and fats, and different numbers for them in order to see the best results in my physique and in my training. So I have a list of things I want to talk about, so if I keep looking away, it's because I'm looking at my computer. I want to make sure that I hit as many things as I possibly can. So if I forget anything, or if you think you have any questions or are confused about any certain topics, comment below and I can kind of go into depth on different topics within flexible dieting and macros and all that good stuff. So I'm just going to kind of go through what macros are and kind of the carbs, fat, and protein, like how they affect the body. So if you would like to see more videos on specific things for each macro, comment below as well and I can make those videos too. So like I said, macros consist of carbs, fat, and protein. Protein is extremely important, and most people, especially females, do not eat enough protein. They typically undereat protein and undereat fiber. Protein is absolutely necessary for maintaining, building muscle, regulating hormones. You want to when you have a higher protein diet, you're able to stay fuller longer, so it keeps you more satiated, and it's beneficial for so many different things, but healthy brain functioning is one of those. So obviously protein is very important, but like I said, so many people undereat in that area. which is why sometimes tracking can be a good thing because you are able to make sure you are getting in that protein. Carbs are not bad. Carbs are the body's main source of energy. Your body takes the glucose from the sugar in the carbs, turns it into glycogen, which is then used for energy. Any glucose that isn't used is then stored in the body for future energy. It protects our muscles, so when you are exercising, the last thing you want to do is use protein for fuel because it'll eat away at the muscle. You're breaking it down while you're exercising if you don't have that carb source to be used as fuel. I remember in school, multiple classes had said that if you are eating, you need to eat at least 130 grams of carbs per day just to keep your brain functioning normally. So sometimes you get that brain fog and you're just kind of like, you're there, but you're just kind of foggy. You maybe feel like hypoglycemic, like a little shaky. And that is typically from very low carb intake or just not eating enough carbs during the day. So sometimes I get that feeling if I don't have a big enough pre-workout, or if I haven't eaten for a really long period of time. I can tell that my body needs that source of carbs to give me more energy to keep functioning. Fats are also extremely important. So a lot of people, they think fats make you fat. Well, that's not necessarily true. So there's mono and polyunsaturated fats that are considered the healthiest. Obviously you have saturated fats and trans fats as well, and those I'm not even going to touch on today. But basically we need fats to regulate hormones as well, and they help to absorb fat soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K. So it promotes a healthy immune system, they balance the hormones, and so it's healthy fats are necessary for daily functioning as well. Fiber is under carbs, so sometimes people get confused by this because they think fiber is a separate part of macros, but really it's just in the carb sources that you're eating. So some carb sources have higher fiber, some have lower fiber. So like brown rice is gonna have higher fiber than white rice. But basically fiber helps with your digestive system. It helps to kind of promote a healthy digestive system functioning properly. Women, typically, we would like to see them eat about 25 to 30 grams a day, and men is probably a little higher, so 30 to 35 grams. It depends on how much water you're drinking, so an increase in water intake and fiber will definitely help your digestive system. You just want to make sure you're not eating too much and you're not eating too little because it can kind of throw everything off track. So that is under carbs. So now you have an idea of what they are, what each thing does. Alcohol is the fourth macronutrient, but I'm not even going to get into that because that's a whole different topic. It doesn't benefit you energy wise. These are the three main sources that give you energy and fuel throughout the day and for your workouts and training and all that. So calories per gram. So a lot of people get kind of confused on this. I'm going to teach you a little math here. So protein is 4 calories per gram. Carbs is also 4 calories per gram, and fats are 9 calories per gram. So if you have for example, like a protein bar with 20 grams of protein, 20 grams of carbs, and 8 grams of fat, it's going to end up, you can get your calories from just knowing the grams. So 20 grams of protein, 80 calories. So 80 calories times 2, because you had 20 grams of carbs, is going to be 160 calories. If you have 9 grams of fat, or 8 grams of fat, you multiply it by 9, it's 72. So that 160 calories plus 72 calories is going to be the total calories for a protein bar. So you can kind of look at it like that. That's how they get the calories to the gram and the grams to calories, and that's why I measure my food out in grams when I measure it out, because then I can just easily, I don't even necessarily think about calories all that much. I just focus on the grams. And that's when the food labels come in. So a lot of people, they look over food labels, or they specifically look at the calorie intake. They're like, oh, it's 100 calories, that's not too bad. But if it's 100 calories and the majority of them are fat, I mean, your fat intake, they're much more calorie dense when you eat fats. So you have to kind of be careful. I mean, there's a restaurant called the Protein Bar downtown Chicago. They show their protein and sometimes they show their carb source too. So it looks like it's not super high in calories, but then they have like 30 grams of fat. And for a lot of people, that could be the majority of their fat intake for the day. So it's that awareness that I believe macro tracking helps with. So awareness is huge. I mean, I don't know how many clients I've had, I just have them tracked for a couple days and they're shocked at how off they are with what they're eating. Like they are not in tune with their bodies. They're not in tune with what's actually healthy and what's not so great. They think they eat clean or they do a fairly good job during the week and then they go crazy on the weekends. But in reality, they could be eating 100 grams of fat, 100 grams or 50 grams of protein, be super low on protein and super high in carbs. Like, you don't actually know and you don't actually get that awareness until you start tracking and get an idea. So I typically like to have my clients track for the first couple days or even a week before I even give them macros, because we can kind of take that into account when I give them their numbers. So you could be eating way low on the calorie side because your macros are super low, or you could be eating way more than you even ever thought you were. So it's a great tool for people to use, and not only do you get an idea of what types of food you're eating, but you can see how much is an actual serving size, especially if you're measuring them out. I always recommend people start by getting a food scale. I know that it can eventually get kind of tedious, like measuring out everything, but if you look at a tablespoon of peanut butter and it has 16 grams of fat in it, and then you just take a knife out of the peanut butter jar and put it on the bread, I mean, it could be double or triple the size. I mean, that's a lot of calories right there. So just even getting that down will help you so much. You can also see how your body responds to different foods. So if you eat say you track a ton of carbs one day and the next day you feel kind of sluggish, you feel kind of weird, like you're bloated and all this stuff, and maybe your sodium intake was super high and you didn't drink enough water. All of these things can affect your body, and when you're able to track it and look back at what you had the previous day, you get a much better idea of, okay, maybe this is what caused it. And it's better that doing that than trying to restrict yourself and cutting all these things out because you think that's what's causing the problem. So many people cut out gluten or they cut out lactose or anything like that, when really it could either be a different type of food that they're eating. Anyway, so we tend to choose our food based on like conveniency, based on taste, based on looks, rather than what's fueling our body and what's actually nutrient dense. So a lot of people, they think that, flexible dieting is all about like donuts and Pop-Tarts. But in reality, I mean, you are not going to hit your numbers if you're just eating donuts and Pop-Tarts. You're going to be way high on carbs and fats and way low on protein if that's all you're eating throughout the day. So making sure that you're getting that fiber intake is going to be extremely important. So micronutrients are just as important as macronutrients. In order to make sure you are fueling your body and giving it the healthy, nutritious foods that it needs, you gotta stick to the lean meats, you gotta stick to the veggies, you gotta stick to the healthy carb sources that like brown rice. I eat white rice because it's easier on the digestive system, sweet potatoes, stuff like that. So it's not all, what macros does is it allows you to throw in those treats. Say you want a chocolate bar one day and you are craving one, but you don't want to throw yourself completely off track. It is so easy to just throw in a chocolate bar in your numbers and you can still stay on track. It can give people a little more freedom, obviously hence the flexible dieting part. And it can be more of a lifestyle for a lot of people rather than just a fad diet. So you can fit in these little things while still eating the majority of your foods as whole, nutritious foods. So like the 80-20 rule, 80% of your food is going to be whole, nutritious. 20% is going to be, you know, maybe the not so great foods like ice cream or froyo or whatever you want to fit in. It gives you that flexibility so you're not as strict. It seems more interesting when you are able to cut one thing out completely and stick to it, even though when you think about it, how long do those diets actually last? I mean, in reality, they are not maintainable. You can't do that over a long period of time and have it be effective. So the biggest thing with this, I mean, nutrition is such a science and most people don't realize it. They think they can cut things out and then they just restrict themselves, and then they binge. So, long story short, I think that macro tracking is a great tool, especially for people to learn more about nutrition, to learn more about their bodies and how they respond to different things, fuel your body properly, get an understanding of how different numbers work best for you. One disclaimer I want to throw out there is that not everyone's body is going to be the same. Alright, sorry guys. Camera ran out of some memory and I ended up changing my shirt. But anyway, so long story short, I mean, obviously it's not going to work for everybody. Like, these numbers are going to be specific for you. I think one of the best parts about this is not just the knowledge, but the fact that you can transition more into an intuitive eating lifestyle, which is my ultimate goal. I mean, I have been tracking for probably 2 years now. And it's honestly changed my life. I mean, I think so much differently about food. I truly enjoyed tracking macros and it gave me the consistency I needed, and the results I saw were absolutely insane. And I think that it can be truly beneficial for so many people. So if you guys have any questions, like I said, I feel like I left a ton of stuff out. So comment below if you have any questions or want to know more about anything specific. I will actually be, I have macro programs online, so I do macro coaching with my clients, and I try to kind of gear it towards their goals. So whether they want to track macros or maybe they just want to be more of a lifestyle like intuitive eating, or even just learning about portion sizes, I welcome anyone that would like the extra coaching and the extra motivation and accountability that comes along with coaching. I also offer my training programs online, so upper and lower body programs. Our Burn to Be Fit program is on there as well. It's on my website, so meganjfitness.com is where you can go to find all this stuff. If you have any questions, you can email me through there as well. I am going to be creating a super cheap, just macro, grocery list, a flexible dieting grocery list. It'll be like $10, so you guys can go on there. I get a lot of people that ask me what types of food they should be eating, and the nice thing about this is it's not a meal plan, so you can choose whatever foods you want as long as you're hitting your numbers and you're making sure you're getting some whole nutritious foods in your diet. So the lists and the grocery lists that I will put out, they're options. They're not like you need to stick to these foods and these foods only. Nothing is off limits on here. I'll include some different higher protein treats, and then I may also create a document that includes some flexible dieting recipes, like things that I like to eat and I make it myself at home. So if you are interested in either of those two products, make sure you comment below. Or shoot me an email and I would be happy to send those to you. They'll both be like $10. Super cheap and a great way to just get started with macros. You can also purchase a program for macros specifically. It's a one-time consultation, so it doesn't include any coaching with me, but it does include all the information you need to start tracking, get numbers specifically for your body and your goals, and how you can change them based on your progress. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too all over the place. I apologize, it was probably kind of fast. But I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. And follow me on Instagram at meganj.fit. And I think that's it. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday. And yeah, I will talk to you guys later.